Good morning! Good morning. If anybody's missing, then they're missing. Mr. Mackenzie will get started. Brian Mackenzie.
Yes.
Art of breath.
Yes.
Hold your breath for like 5 minutes. Who gives a shit?
It matters none.
What got you into that?
Yoga originally, but y'all heard about training masks?
Yeah.
You ever seen those weird things people wear and run around in? Somebody handed one to me and I laughed because I've studied altitude for quite some time, and it doesn't change pressure, which is why altitude matters. It's not that there's less oxygen at altitude. That's not what it is. The same oxygen exists at altitude that exists at sea level. It's the pressure and your ability to absorb it. So what happens is it's much more difficult for you to actually absorb the oxygen. It's kind of like going underwater. You know how you have to unplug your ears? The denser it gets, the deeper you go, right? So the higher you go, the less dense it is. Nonetheless, I laughed at the device, but I decided to put it on anyway. And when I put it on, I drew a breath in and it resists the air coming in. So I organized myself differently and I like postured up, I guess you could say, right? Like I changed my posture. And I knew I instantly changed what I was doing. I organized myself differently in order to use my diaphragm in a more effective way. Diaphragm is the most important muscle in the human body. And it's not just because of breathing. It's because we organize ourselves to move around it. And when we aren't organized well enough, we actually compensate and we start to use a lot of compensatory muscles. The most common thing you will see in the global population at this point is a posture that resembles shoulders rolled forward and a head tilted up. And if you all kind of do this, exaggerate it real quick for me, what you'll notice, so when you come forward or roll forward, this is called kyphotic, then you automatically adjust your head because you've got these cochlea in your ears that are telling you to be upright, right? So your head naturally does this. Well, what's the most optimal natural way to breathe if I'm like this? Is to open my jaw. So what we've done is we've put ourselves on devices and things that have reinforced this process. So anyway, I got into breathing because I noticed that some device, resistance breathing device, changed how we did things. Then I started looking at the physiology of how breathing affects things. And then I started looking at the neurobiology of why breathing works with the brain. And the brain works with breathing. So the whole system works with breathing, and there's actually a real important reason for it, is because energy is king, queen, the court gesture, and everything. You are alive because of energy. You are moving energy. If you stop moving energy, or energy in any way starts to change in a negative manner, you will get what is called disease, and you will be on your way to death, whether that is from cancer, ALS, MS, you name the disease, it is basically a metabolic problem that began. Autoimmune disorders are part of an energy problem. It's all connected to energy. And the only way the human body utilizes energy is through breathing. We have to bring in oxygen, which is actually a corrosive molecule. It's highly corrosive. So it's so corrosive that it eats away at everything. So we just don't think of it like that. We think it's like this beautiful blue sky that we see, right? Well, what happens to paint when it oxidizes? If you don't take care of your paint, you don't put all these coats of shit all over it to protect it, it eats it. We're actually dying from being eaten inside out from oxygen. But oxygen was the deal that was made 1.5 or 2.5 or so billion years ago, when a couple of cells decided to come together, which we now are a part of, multicellular organisms, and figured out how to use that oxygen molecule as the most efficient means for energy transfer that we know of. We cannot replicate it. It's called aerobic cellular respiration. Now, we've got a second component to that. That's called anaerobic cellular respiration. That is high stress situation. You are going to be going through a lot of high stress situations throughout the next 4 days. Namely, you'll be put through scenarios that are going to be uncomfortable with a weapon. And regardless of how many times you've done it, I promise you, because I've watched it, I've been here, I've done a couple of these with Mick, I've worked with a number of operators, I've worked with a number of people in the communities surrounding this stuff. Shit changes when you start unloading a weapon and you're being tested or you're trying to do something. The psychology of something changes how we breathe instantaneously. Anybody ever felt anxiety before? Every hand here should go up. Anxiety is a universally experienced thing, all right? That means your breathing rate went up instantaneously, and it went up because your psychology changed how you're dealing with breathing. So for this morning, we're gonna move a little, and I'm gonna this morning's not a competition with what we're gonna do. It's more of getting to know you based on your limitations. So to start, real simple, hands out to the side. Mouth is going to remain shut for the majority of this morning's exercise. I'm going to actually allow you at one point, you can just breathe however the you want, and then we're going to control some breathing after that. But take the wrists, just move the wrists in circles, one direction, 10 in one direction. Breathing through that nose, then switch directions when you have 10. Just gonna get the wrist joints moving.
When do we switch?
10. Open your ears. From here, you've got elbows. Just try and move the elbows by squeezing the shoulder blades together. So just keeping those shoulder blades. You're going in one direction. Breathing. As much range of motion as you can get out of those elbow joints without moving the shoulders. We're just trying to articulate. Then move 10 in the other direction. Yeah, it's going to be weird for a lot of you.
Look at Gary Eastridge's face. He's like, what in the Sam are we doing out on this hour with our arms?
So there is an important reason. Once you've got that, 10. Shoulders. 10 each direction. Breathing. Shut your mouth. Breathe through your nose. You're going to start to notice you want to open your mouth when we get into these bigger joint movements. There's a reason we want to go through very simple exercises like this. The moment your joints stop working optimally, you are in a downward spiral towards not moving at the end of your life. Meaning somebody else is going to be wiping your ass for you because you decided to stop taking care of you. Lack of movement kills as many people as disease, just to be clear. In fact, it probably accelerates most disease. Once we've got 10 there, right foot up, point that toe, circles, 10 right, 10 left, balancing, mouth stays shut. If you were to do anything, if you don't do anything for movement or exercise, if you just went through this little series in the morning, you would see a profound impact in how you feel throughout the day within a month. I can guarantee you. Because you're going to start working the ranges of motions of each of the major joints that are going on in your body, which then just help move fluid and allow you to move better throughout the day. All right, knee. 10, 10. It's gonna feel weird because you've never done anything like this. More than likely. You'll get better at it. There's no competition. You don't win anything for being the best knee joint spinner person. Once you got 10, hip. So knee comes up, knee goes out, internally rotate, bring it all the way back around.
Can you turn around and show the other people behind you?
Up, out, in, around. Then go backwards. So then I come back around, boom. Trying to get as much range of motion as you can out of that joint. Switch legs once you've got 10 there. Start with the ankle. Ankle, knee, hip on that left. Work it. And last one, head. 10 big circles with that neck. Then 10 the opposite.
Supposed to make all this noise?
Yes, it's a good sign. It's actually good. As long as it doesn't hurt, it's good. All right.
Can you explain what causes the noise for us?
Yeah, just air. It's just air in between the joints. All very natural, but if there's pain, there's a problem. All right. We're gonna inhale. This is called the Jefferson curl. It starts with the head, all right? I start with my head. I roll down. My shoulders follow. I curl all the way down. I am inhaling, reaching my limit. Exhaling, coming all the way back up. My head is the last thing to open up. You can open up by looking back and then all the way down. 10 of those. Inhale goes the entire way down. Exhale goes the entire way up. You are following your breath. You move no faster than your breath. Don't try and make this don't try and rip through this. Try and go actually as slow as you can with your breathing, and just trying to find a new limit with your range of motion each time you come down.
We have some downward dogs per day.
10 of those. All right, we got that? Good. All right. Downward dog position, which is simply, I'm just out here like this. It's not important how much range of motion you have here. From here, for those of you that are flexible, you are going to inhale and step forward and look up. And then exhale and step back. Inhale, step forward, look up, exhale, step back. For those of you that are not that flexible, it is inhale, look up, exhale, push back. 10 of those. Go for it. If you're doing the runner's lunge where you step up, make sure your rear leg, you're actually keeping that knee straight. You're trying to keep that rear knee straight. Just 10. Just getting those hips opened up front.
Switch sides or just do the one that?
You should have been 5 each side.
Oh, 5 each side.
That's all right. Sorry. You may want to open up that other side a little bit. So we're going to do 2 sets of the following. It's a push-up that is going to be an inhale on the way down. Okay? And then a push-up on the, you're going to exhale on the way up. Okay? Following your breathing. Now, for those of you that do push-ups or consider that you do push-ups frequently enough, you're going to pause. So for the first version of this is inhale down, exhale up, right? Second version of this is inhale down, exhale, inhale, and then I re-inhale and come up. All right, make sense? So you pause for a breath on the bottom. Maximum reps, allowing only your breathing to dictate that. The moment you need to actually change your breathing, it's over. All right. So then you kill that exercise. It's not going to be a lot. All right. Then, second exercise, it's just simply prisoner squats. Any of you guys been to prison? Prisoner squats, hands behind the head. Down, inhale, up, exhale. 20.
You cough at the bottom?
No. Make sense? Max rep push-up, following your breathing, inhale down, exhale up, or give yourself a brief pause. The pause on the bottom is just going to help those of you who do more of the push-ups to get a little bit more out of this. This is not the workout, this is just part of the warm-up. Inhale down, exhale up, nose only. Inhale down, exhale up, nose only. By the way, a push-up means your chest and thighs touch the ground. This is not the Navy. You do not get to miss the ground.
This is not the Navy. That's pretty insulting. There's a lot of Navy people.
Yeah, I was in the Navy. So I remember. If push-ups are difficult for you, you are more than welcome to go to your knees. Should have said that as a caveat. Prisoner squats are inhale down, exhale up, nose only, 20. Find your range of motion and then come back up. You will find that a full inhale in the bottom is going to limit your range of motion. Paul, you are flexible for an ultra runner. That is not sarcasm. I am actually being honest right now. There are not a whole lot of ultra runners I know that can move that well. that is 1 round. You have 1 more round of that. So go back to the push-ups, then the prisoner squats. Following your breathing. That's it. It ain't a comp. It's just following your breathing.
Your Easters again saying, what in the hell are you doing on this patio deck at this hour?
Just 2 rounds of this, just 2 rounds. That's it. As soon as you got 20 squats on the second round, we're good. All right, everybody find a piece of pavement. So you guys are fine, but you guys are gonna need to move in, so the guys in the back have got pavement. 2 rounds of this. You will see 2 telephone poles right here, right? See the second one down? That's your marker. You're gonna do 10 burpees. You do them as fast or as slow as you want. You can breathe however you want. You can open your mouth and make it easier. I don't give a shit. From the 10 burpees, you're going to walk, not run, to that second pole. You get 5 breaths through your nose only. Then you will hold your breath on an exhale and walk as many steps as you can, and then you get 5 breaths. It doesn't matter how many steps you walk on the 5 breaths, you just get 5 breaths. Then you exhale, hold your air, and walk as many steps as you can. You're gonna go to that second pole and come back, all right? You will do that twice, and this will be over, all right?
So the breathing is on the way there?
Yeah, you get 5 breaths as soon as you're done with the burpees, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna exhaust you. So I'm gonna create metabolic demand. It's gonna go up. Then I'm gonna restrict you to breathing but walking, and you're gonna see how you can calm your shit down by breathing through your nose and then holding your breath. We're gonna actually stress you out a little bit more. But it's not going to be a big deal because you only go to where you can only hold your breath, right? Then you get 5 breaths. Repeat 5 breaths, exhale, hold. 5 breaths, exhale, hold. Make sense? This is just going to warm you up. It's not going to be too intense. Burpees, for those of you that can do real burpees, my chest is on the deck. I jump up, I clap. If I can't go all the way down, that's perfectly fine. Just down, up, boom. Make sense? Yes. 10 of those as fast as you can get them done. Breathe however you want. Walk to the second pole and back. Repeat that twice, and then you can go eat breakfast. Just a walk. Second pole and back.
You need a gun when your physical ability is not enough to maintain life and liberty. You dig?
Core principle of the S12 experience is to expose the student to concepts, ideas, and training that helps illuminate in them areas that they can grow. We do firearms instruction. We teach people how to protect themselves and become more prepared at taking care of themselves, their family, and their community in violence and calamity. But what I did was I went out and found the best. D-Dey Response Group, Green Beret Medics. They teach the TCCC at this event, so every attendee leaves having a nationally recognized TCCC live fire certificate. We've got Dan Hudnett, paramedic in a very busy department and many years in the United States Army as a medic. Got my friend Zee Von Durham, another Green Beret, Army Ranger, combatives guy, black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, just a stand-up stud. Got Paul Sharp, renowned expert on self-protection, self-defense, another BJJ black belt. SWAT cop, Ben Simonson from Boresight Solutions, built for the fight. We've got Daryl, Navy EOD, and then we bring in some different people. At this event, we got Brian Mackenzie, one of the foremost authorities on breath and how it affects us in our daily life and in stress. On the range, we're working, developing awesome fundamentals with the pistol. And then we get into some medical stuff. We start talking about how the human body works, human physiology, why we have to stop blood loss and how we do it.
None of you want to be the one that bleeds to death because you didn't have a $25 tourniquet in the knowledge to know how to use it.
Day 2, we take that same concept and we're adding in movement. Instead of talking about why we need tourniquets, we start using tourniquets, etc. Day 3, the same thing. We keep adding and adding and adding, so that by the time we get to day 4, the students are shooting and moving, dragging 200-pound dummies, applying medical aid to them while scanning for threats and dealing with those threats. You know, the whole concept of CarryTrainer is this, summed up in one sentence: be your own cavalry. You are the person there to save your family, to save yourself, to do the right thing at the right time, every time, to get it done.